Potential hot take, but can boys stop responding so fast, please? It's such an ick to me.
Okay, boys, write this down. It's icky to reply too fast.
Are they a slow texter or are they just not that into you?
Oh, wait. Okay, no, do reply faster or else they'll think you're not into her. My bad.
Here's a PSA for all the single ladies. If a guy texts you back right away, or if he's messaging you nonstop all day, probably seems really flattering, right? But it's not. It means he has nothing else better to do.
Wait, shit. Okay, don't reply. They hate it. Okay, wait. Do reply as fast as you can.
Girl brain is if you text him and he texts you back right away, ick.
Maybe don't respond that fast? I don't know anymore. It appears your life is in danger no matter what. I'm so sorry.
Candy?
You already know if I'm going to take it?
Wouldn't be much of an oracle if I didn't.
But if you already know, how can I make a choice?
Because you didn't come here to make the choice. You've already made it. You're here to try to understand why you made it.
Welcome, my friends. My name is Antoine Phoenix, and this is my RP experience. Peace and love to all my brothers and sisters out there. Thank you for hitting the like button, subscribing, sharing, and turning on all notifications so you know when I have a whole new video up. And comment. But if you do comment, be nice in the comments to each other. Anyway, I expect some people, if it is a lot of comments down there, to start attacking me. But I'm built like that. Anyway, tonight's video is going to be about why, in so many words, men are not approaching and men are not really trying to date. And that's not every guy, because when I walk around in real life, I do see boyfriend girlfriends together. I do see people that's married. I do see people in relationships. Now, I don't know if they are at the beginning. Well, usually I can tell when they are at the beginning because they look happy. Somewhere in the middle or the end, maybe things may change. Unless if they are really made for each other or they have a really solid friendship. That is the thing that I don't think a lot of people be thinking about when they be getting in relationships with people. I always try to get with a woman that she and I are friends first before we become lovers. Now, obviously, if I'm attracted to her, that's going to make me more interested. But then I'm going to see if it's any type of chemistry or anything in common. And the only thing, we could have things in common, but she might eliminate me quickly because I'm not a certain height, or I don't make a certain amount of money, or I may not be a Chad or Tyrone. So, and I was thinking of another word right there. So I have a video by, and I cannot think of her name right now. I reviewed her video one time before when she was talking about single moms. And I agree with a lot of things that she said. And I'm not one of those guys that's like, men Do not mess with single moms at all. It depends on the woman. It depends on the kid. It depends on the situation. Because everybody's life is a little different. But that's a video for another day. Anyway, we are talking about dating right here. Even though that can be part of it, but let's just say both people don't have kids and they are dating. And why a lot of men are maybe avoiding it. Not really avoiding a relationship. Well, sometimes I be thinking, because I don't want to crash and burn. And I invest a whole lot into it. And what is a lot to me may not be a lot to you. A couple $1,000s might be a lot to me, but to a guy that's a celebrity, a couple $1,000s is nothing. Now, maybe a couple hundred thousands or millions may make a guy be like, wow, I spent a lot of money on this one. So let's begin.
After reading tens of thousands of your comments over the years, I know there are a multitude of reasons why even the most desirable men are walking away from dating. It can be summed up with the juice ain't worth the squeeze. If you're a man, let me know which ones resonate. And if you're a woman who wants to attract and keep a good man, you may want to pay attention and make some personal adjustments to make sure your juice is worth it. If you're new to my channel, I help men decode modern women so they can find, attract, and keep their keeper, or simply have better relationships with women if they prefer to stay single. Welcome to Just the Tip. All right, let's do this. Jake will be our fictional man, ready to go MGTOW. 1. Unrealistic expectations. If you watch any of the Red Pill channels, you'll probably have seen a panel of high-maintenance, low-value women listing off their must-haves. 6 feet tall, six-pack abs, and a minimum of a six-figure income, or a trust fund, your typical Chad. Now, the truth is, those women are selected for their clickbaitable audacity. Just like men perhaps secretly desire the perfect woman, a perfect 10 who's an angel in public and an OnlyFans in the bedroom, men can be happy with a decent woman who isn't perfect but who makes them feel good overall. However, though most women can be happy without a Chad, they have been brainwashed by both men and other women to think they should want them. And at the slightest sign of lack, they look for excuses to dismiss a good man who might actually be the perfect fit for them. Key point: while some women are setting up OnlyFans accounts, most women aren't pushing the angel OF ideal. There's a reason. More on that in a minute. Example: Jake went on several dates where he felt that the woman he had met had a long requirements checklist. One date ended rather abruptly when he mentioned he didn't have a six-figure salary yet. Many men feel pressured by unrealistic expectations, leading to feelings of inadequacy and frustration. Unfortunately, some men have unknowingly encouraged women's expectations by constantly saying that's what we all want. If you say something loud enough and long enough, people start to believe it.
Well, wait a minute. Okay. I think I know what she's saying here. So, because a lot of men, not all men, I never say that all women want money. I do believe most women want a Chad or Tyrone or a guy that's tall. And this also is to go in a little bit of what she said earlier. I did a video of when you are not their first choice. And because I lived this right here, I believe that this is valid. When you are not a woman's desired choice and she settles on you, or either she picks you because, oh, well, he really likes me, he's always there, and I can't really get with the person I want to get with, or I'm getting older now, I'll just settle on him. She's not going to treat him right long term. She's probably going to cheat on him. She's going to flirt. She's going to do stuff that she would not do if she was with the man that she desired. Now, this sounds a little bit that, and look, I know you are a accountable woman, but we are not giving a woman an out here. I know men contribute to women with the OnlyFans and giving attention to women that are scantily clad and then saying they want a woman to be virtuous and like a nun and giving that mixed signal thing. Men and women both do that same little thing to each other. The thing is, men usually are strong enough mentally to be like, I like this type of woman. This is the woman that I want, even if the woman is not good for me. And when thing goes to hell, most of them will say, okay, well, I didn't make enough money or I wasn't there enough. I knew what I was getting into. Whereas women will usually say, well, I was tricked. I was duped. Basically, I mean, those women will say, it's not my fault. I didn't know. Oh, God. Oh, save me. Type of thing. Look, I'm not with giving the pass. Where you a man or woman, you choose who your destructor. Okay? You choose the person that's going to eventually destroy you. You can put it on society or certain people to a certain degree, but you make the final choice. And that's basically what I'm saying. So I understand what she's saying, how the society thing is, but look, as a society, I'm told that I'm a black man, I'm a hood, I'm a thug. This is usually on a subtle, a subliminal level. I'm somewhat being told either by how people react to me that don't know me, if it's a certain time of the day or night, if I'm at a certain part of town or something. These are things that, from what I perceive, I make the final choice if I'm going to be what people are saying I am. So I'm not going to let that particular excuse go. Those women are making their decisions, and when they get older or when they don't have the love or they don't have the person they want to be with or a person that loves them, is their fault. That's just all with that.
Women instinctively know this. That is why women's body positivity started. Ladies and gentlemen need to stop telling women they want the perfect man and start acknowledging that kindness, loyalty, and reliability, along with shared values, compatible beliefs, and goals, are what we all truly need.
I'll go one better. Think for yourself. Okay? Because at the end of the day, you have to live this life. You can't be trying to please every other person. That's the one difference that I think is between men and women. That Travis Hunter thing showed me definitely of how I thought when people was telling me, leave that girl alone, blah, blah, blah. And I probably should have listened with those warnings in the past. But when a man makes a decision about a woman or his course that he's trying to go, most of the time we will stay the course and say fuck everybody else. That's what women need to be when they are picking a man, a lover. They're like that with their kids, but not with their man. So I've seen women find a guy that they connect with, they like, and as soon as their friends say something to them, especially if it's early in the relationship, maybe that's why sometimes women will hide their man from their friends. It's not just the thing that she's hiding you from the friends. She's trying to maybe not let them blow it up. Whereas she should have the fortitude or the strength to just tell them to mind their damn business. Or either they should just have that respect.
2, past negative experiences. A lot of men have had bad experiences with women, whether they missed the red flags that were there, ignored them, or were masterfully manipulated. Past negative experiences can tarnish their outlook 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 on all women. The unfortunate part is those men often actually don't trust themselves to see the flags or to throw back a throwback when she displays them, because he might believe that's all he can get. Example: after a painful breakup where Jake's girlfriend cheated on him, he found it difficult to trust women again. He decided to take a break from dating and heal to focus on himself. Past negative experiences can leave lasting scars, causing men to step back from dating to avoid further hurt. So ladies need to understand that just like we have
Okay, I have to admit, and you are right with that one, because that's where I'm at right now. I don't trust myself to pick the right woman right now. And this with all the knowledge that I know about the red flags and what not to look for and not to get all caught up with looks. But I've tried different things. I tried not to just go for looks, try to go for personality and connection. That still blew up in my face. And actually, that one hurt me the worst because I did not think that she would do it, because she and I'm talking about the last year's ex-girlfriend, she and I did not have a volatile relationship, constantly arguing. We was able to discuss things. Yet, I know she was weak with peer pressure, other people talking to her, and also because we had separation because we worked nearby each other, and when she was farther away and we saw less of each other, some other dude was able to just come in, fill in my time slot, and then she moved on that way. So I don't know, especially here. That's why I want to start totally over and maybe try something different out of the US. Not to say if a woman comes straight here that I meet, I won't try, but I don't know.
psychological self-defense mechanisms to protect ourselves, so do men. Practice gentle understanding. It costs nothing but is a priceless gift. 3. Financial burden. Even though there are more women than men in post-ed nowadays, and many are making a lot of money, most women want a man to make at least as much as they do. However, supply and demand mean those men are in short supply and have plenty of options. Even a good man may not feel like busting his balls on a date to an entitled princess, or provide a lifestyle that reaches beyond his income. Example: Jake noticed he was spending a significant portion of his income on dates and gifts, trying to maintain a lifestyle to impress his dates. He felt financially drained and decided it wasn't sustainable. The financial burden of dating can be overwhelming, leading some men to prioritize financial stability over romantic pursuits, with some fellas choosing to rent instead of buy.
All right. And know her stuff. She's right about this. Stay. Yes, there are men that have decided to rent or lease. That can be anything from escorts to friends with benefits to, and this is not always the choice. Oh, and me, I'm not with the sugar baby thing. I'll say, in my experience, with the women that I've met, especially the ones around my age, their life is in flux right now. They have things going on with their baby daddy, their home life is in turmoil. I'm not ready to move somebody in. They have kids or a kid. Most of the women I've kind of met, they had a kid, which is fine because I also have a kid. So one kid, not multiple. When there's multiple, then obviously I'm not going to be able to spend time and is just going to be a mess right there. But with the women that it was workable, and I'd rather they not settle, I can tell they did like me. They saw potential there, and they know also things that I have going on in my life. And most of them, I do not hide my YouTube channel. So that could also scare some of them away as well, which is good. The thing is, I've come into this thing of I guess almost like a friends with benefits. Like I see them and we might go to a movie or hang out or something, but it doesn't go past that. And I don't really press for it neither. Because when I think of my ex-wife or any of my girlfriends, and I'm a guy that I am about trying to make the woman happy or show her a good time, but I always end up spending a lot of money. And when it gets toward the end, especially since I know everything that I done did not matter, it doesn't matter now because she feels differently and she feels something for somebody else. So basically, she'll spit in my face like, I'm not happy right now, but I'll be happy over here. I'm sorry, I got to go. Which I understand. Hey, I don't want you to stay and be unhappy. But the thing is, though, if I knew it was gonna go like that, I probably would not have did it, and I probably would have just got in and out, which I have to fight with myself because I don't want to use a woman. At the same time, I don't want to get used either. So now basically, when she's moving scandalous or is mixed signals hot and cold, I just let her go and then I'm busy. I don't be trying to nail her down. She can stay out there.
Or shop abroad, where their money goes further. Ladies must realize wealthy men have plenty of options, even if some of those options are gold diggers. If you have embraced the bounty of breaking the glass ceiling, you may need to adjust your financial expectations of men and consider other high-value traits like financial responsibility. 4. Lack of appreciation. Unlike many moons ago, now women can do pretty much everything for themselves or hire someone who can. How many times have we heard a woman say, I don't need no man? Well, I'll tell you, many times, too many. If a man isn't needed, it's difficult to appreciate him. No one thrives in a relationship where they feel they can be easily replaced or discarded. Example, Jake frequently planned thoughtful dates and went out of his way for his dates, but rarely received even a tepid thank you, never mind any kind of reciprocation effort, and he felt rarely appreciated, but instead taken for granted. Feeling unappreciated can be very discouraging. Men, like everyone else, need to feel valued in a relationship. Ladies, you can practice appreciating the men in your lives. Show at least as much appreciation to a generous man as you would to your best friend. 5, focus on personal goals. Some men have a lot on their plates and don't want the distraction that can inevitably come from dating and relationships. Whether they're young and want to get ahead in life or are older and licking their wounds trying to rebuild a life, sometimes the smartest thing to do is to go solo for a while or maybe even forever. Example, Jake is a high achiever in everything he does and passionate about his career and personal growth. He found that the immense effort he put into dating often distracted him from his goals, so he decided to focus on his professional and personal development instead. Many men are choosing to prioritize their individual goals and ambitions over dating, finding fulfillment in their careers and hobbies. Ladies must accept that in order to enter a man's life who has a lot on the go, she needs to be an asset, not a liability. Make his life easier by being in it. 6, fear of commitment. There's no shortage of relationship horror stories, many ending with the man losing his shirt, his house, his kids, some kids over there, or even worse. With the divorce rate over 50% and over 85% of divorces initiated by women, no wonder men fear commitment. Even living together can be a trap. Example, Jake has seen many of his friends go through messy divorces. The fear of a similar fate made him wary of committing to a serious relationship, so he opted to stay single. The fear of commitment, fueled by observing adverse outcomes in others' relationships, can lead men to avoid dating altogether. Women must acknowledge the truth in the stats. Though it can happen, reality shows that few women are losing their homes and paying palimony. Want to be a real keeper? Offer a prenup from the get-go. It can actually protect both of you. 7, cultural and societal pressures. We live in a world where every culture and society has its own set of expectations about relationships, marriage, and the roles men and women play. These pressures can be overwhelming, particularly for men who are caught between what they want and what they think they should want. Whether it's the pressure to marry by a certain age, or expectations around providing financially, or the stigma of being single, these societal norms can weigh heavily on a man's mind. Some cultures have even more rigid expectations, like needing to marry within a certain community or following specific traditions that don't align with personal desires. When the pressure to conform feels too heavy, it may simply be easier to step away from dating altogether than to risk failing in the eyes of society or family. Example: Jake comes from a culture with strict expectations about marriage and relationships. The pressure to conform led him to step back from dating, feeling that he simply couldn't meet his own desires and society's expectations. Cultural and societal pressures can make dating feel like a daunting task, leading some men to simply walk away to avoid conflict and stress. Ladies, if you want to keep him around, let him know you're looking for a relationship based on mutual understanding, not societal approval. If you can, ditch the cultural rule book, or at least try to navigate it together. 8. Mental health concerns. This one's big. Stress, anxiety, depression, ADHD, ASD, OCD, PTSD. There are a multitude of mental health conditions that can make dating and relationships confusing, overwhelming, and frustrating. Whether it's not being able to read body language, or not be able to make eye contact, or simply requiring more energy than a man has, the effort required for dating can be exhausting, and some men are bowing out. Example: Jake struggled with anxiety and depression. The added stress of dating exacerbated his mental health issues, so he chose to focus on his well-being before re-entering the dating scene. Men increasingly recognize the importance of mental well-being and may step back from dating to try to focus more on self-care. Ladies need to practice gentle compassion with men. It's a tough world out there for them right now. Women have been making great strides forward, while many of our men are falling behind. That is not my kind of equality. 9. Changing relationship dynamics. In much of the developed world, feminism has brought with it a new attitude about relationships. Women who don't want a traditional relationship don't have to have one. They can support themselves and have kids by themselves. Well, this leaves a lot of men wondering where they fit into the romantic relationship model, or simply deciding to commit to not committing. Example: Jake noticed the shift in how many of the women he dated viewed relationships, many emphasizing casual connections rather than long-term commitments. It was difficult for him to find a woman that he was attracted to who had similar values. Changing relationship dynamics with a trend towards casual connections can make it difficult for men who are seeking long-term commitment. Ladies who want a long-term relationship should be very much more selective of who they have sex with. Promiscuity is not a top must-have for most men looking for love. Sorry, but true. 10. Desire for independence. Some men and women can't be bothered with the effort required to find, attract, and keep a keeper. It's not only a lot of work just to get one good one, but then there's the ongoing maintenance. Every good relationship takes a lot of effort. There's a saying that men believe the work is over when he gets married or gets into a serious relationship, while women think the work is just beginning. Just like going to the gym is how you maintain a fit body, relationships require ongoing effort. Some people are content on their own without the added work. Example: Jake values his independence and enjoys his solo pursuits. He finds that dating requires just too much effort and often compromises his freedom. He was happy being single and so decided to remain single to maintain his lifestyle. The desire for independence and the freedom to live on one's own terms is powerful, and why some men are walking away from dating. Ladies need to understand that if they want a good relationship, appreciating and rewarding good behavior gets more of it than punishing bad behavior. Never nag. Walking away from dating is a personal choice influenced by many factors, from past experiences to individual goals and mental health. Noisy try. It's essential to respect your own desires and understand that everyone's journey is different. It's okay to go the solo path. In fact, you're better off single than sorry. Now, if this video resonated with you, please give it a like and consider subscribing. And share your thoughts in the comments below. Please keep your comments respectful, even if passionate. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you being here. Lots of love.
Thanks, Anne. Good insight as usual. That's not her name. I'm going to leave a link to her channel in the description. Okay. I used to have to go to speech class when I was a little lad, and every once in a while, I still will stutter, but it's not as bad as what it used to be when I was a lot younger. Anyway, everything that she says, except for in the beginning, I didn't like that because it's like you giving them an excuse. Is similar like that video of the women of this black woman that said how black men should get over their treatment in high school. And yes, I understand that was a long time ago and is in the past. But see, a lot has happened with the men that have decided to date other types of women, and that became their type. That's what they became used to. So, despite the fact that was a long time ago and we are different people, and yes, we are different people, I'm no longer attracted to that woman that that was in high school. Now I have a new type of woman that I'm going for now. And actually, yes, you guys need to check out that video when I dissected that one. So, except for that thing in the very beginning, that was my only gripe with what Anne was saying. Everything else, she was on point and she gets the man's point of view. I love women like this. I wish more women was like this right here, that they get the man's point of view and not pretending to get the man's point of view until you get leverage or you get certain things like a marriage and kids, and then you show your true form. That right there. Now, I have an analogy right here of some of the things that she was saying. Let's say that, and yes, Anne, I hope you see this part. Let's say you go to a job and you have a job you really want, but you can't get that one. So you settle for this job. It pays okay. You kind of, you going through the motions. Then you start to really hate this job. You start complaining with your co-workers like, oh, I hate this job so much. And you start even back talking to managers, supervisors, and because they sure on staff, they kind of put up with it to a certain degree. And you don't dial it down, you dial it up because that's not the job that you wanted to be in the first place. And now you really don't like it here. And now you are really showing your ass. This is what I mean by women have to do a total change of how they look at the men that they want to spend their life with. And not as an insurance plan with marriage and then you can divorce them, or kids and you can take the kids away type of thing, but to be able to, for instance, maybe that's not the man, or that's not your first choice of job. Because okay, I'll use this example right here. I might have my heart set on one particular job, but I can't get that job, but I can get this other job, and this job doesn't pay as much, but however though they have certain benefits that I like, such as I can get into amusement parks for free, or I can get discounts on things, and I can get like a 2 week paid vacation, and the benefits are better. And plus, I love the coworkers. So, despite the fact that initial job was the job that I wanted, and you can put this as I have a certain type of woman that I would like, but I can adjust, not settle, adjust to a woman that has some of what that woman, my dream woman, has, but she has a lot of the other things that's more important. And I'll be happy with that particular thing right there. Women need to be like that and not fake it that that is their guy. That's the thing that I need women to change with them. Yes, maybe you like a Chad or a Tyrone or a Thug or something, but when you switch off of them, don't fake switch off of them. And that's really still your choice. Because I believe a lot of times when women get their heart set on something, they have a hard time changing it because they feel like they're selling. Instead of saying, adjusting and find out what's more important. That's what they should be thinking about. And that's the only way to fix it for men like me to start trusting women in the dating scene in the US. And not to say that women overseas will be that much better, but at least it'll be easier. And at least my money will go farther. Okay? So, like and subscribe, and have a good night.
Previously on Star Trek, Kirk, Bones, and a lady they met at the club were getting high on space crack. Kirk was so high he was frozen, getting a face massage. Bones was just watching, all sweaty, holding a gun. That's when Spock walked in, pissed. Spock goes for the gun, gives up, pulls the chick off Kirk, then starts whooping her ass. Like Spock Turner in What Space Got to Do with It. She took his blows like Thanos, hit Spock with a backhand, he went flying, and slid down like he had too much Chardonnay. But Spock wasn't just mad because of the drugs. He knew the chick from the club who wasn't bad looking, was actually really bad looking, and her name wasn't Jennifer, it was Ugh. And there's no way to spell Ugh. She was a space monster, and she was sucking the life force out of Kirk in a much different way than he's used to getting his life force sucked out. Bones finally realized what was happening. Kirk was in danger. He snapped out of his drug trance and blasted that monster.